So as we've been hearing, the government has published details of areas where schools will have a delayed start to the new term. It includes most primary schools in London and many in the home counties, areas where the rate of infection of COVID-19 is deemed high enough to warrant the measure. Well, Wendy Hurrell has the details on this. Wendy.
Well, yes, Education Secretary Gavin Williamson at about 4 o'clock reassured us that most primary schools were expected to open as normal on January the 4th, except for a small list. Well, that list was released a short time ago, and this is the extent of primary school closures across London and the home counties. Everything you can see marked in red here are areas where primary schools will be closed until at least the 18th of January and not to reopen as planned on the 4th. That's 22 out of 32 London boroughs, 11 areas in Essex, and it covers parts of Kent and Hertfordshire as well. And this is where the contingency framework kicks in, what the government likes to call it. And that's where schools stay open to all but vulnerable, it basically closed them, but to all but vulnerable children and children of critical workers. And as I say, they could be closed until the 18th of January when it will be reviewed. And
this was announced just a short time ago, as you said, Wendy. What's the immediate reaction been?
Well, the chair of London Council said in a tweet, putting a list out to media including half of London boroughs and with no conversation with councils or education leaders is deeply irresponsible. How to explain to parents that their children can go to school in Camden, but not if they study in Westminster or Barnet? The government must work with us. Secondary schools and colleges, there's a further delay for them. The current date is 18th of January. That allows to set up for mass testing and offer teachers support in remote learning. And of course, this is a response to the more transmissible variant that the government is worried about within schools, but coming just before the start of term. This is going to cause huge turmoil for parents across London.
Certainly will, I can well imagine. Wendy, thanks very much.